Hi, welcome to my creative corner. I'm Claudette, Stampin' with Miss Puff, and today I want to show you how I created this card. First of all, you're going to need a white piece of cardstock, and my cardstock is measuring 5 1/8 by 4, and you're going to need some painter's tape or masking tape. And what I did is went ahead and put it on my skin so the oil could get some of the sticky stuff so you don't destroy my paper, and I went ahead and blocked that off like a 1/2 inch around. So what you're going to need is 3 ink, different color inks, and I have Pacific Point, Bermuda Bay, and Granny Apple that I'm going to be using. You need 3 different sponges. You could use your Dop-Hoff sponges. I just tear some sponge apart and put it on little clips. So you're going to get some VersaMark, and you're going to go ahead and ink the top of this up. Alright, I'm going to start with my darkest color first, which is the Pacific Point. And I'm just going to make circular motions. And there's no wrong or right way of doing it. I think you just choose 3 colors that you think would go nicely together. You could make it as dark or as light as you want. I think I'm going to do each color a third of the way. I think I like that darkness. And then now I'm going to come in with the Bermuda Bay and put that in the center. Okay. Next I'm going to come in with the Granny Apple. You just want to make sure that your tape is down really good around this edges right here, so you could get, when you take your tape off, you get a crisp edges. Alright, I like how the Granny Apple is coming along. I think I want the Bermuda Bay to be a little darker. The one in the middle. Okay. So once I have that done, what I'm going to do is get some clear embossing powder and put it on top of that. And I got some coffee filters from the dollar store, and you could get several of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the clear embossing powder on this. And then later on I could just take this and pour it back into the container. And then we'll just go ahead and heat emboss our project. And you need your heat embossing tool. Go ahead and activate that embossing powder. There we go. This gets pretty hot, and I love, when I first saw, I went to a class with embossing powder was so magical, especially when you have letters or words. It was so amazing. I was like, I have to get some of this stuff. And I think we're done. So you have that little shine. Alright, so I'm going to try to remove this masking tape without tearing my work. There we have it. We have that little sheen there. So the next step, what I'm going to do is get an embossing folder. This is a basket weave design here by Stampin' Up, and I'm going to go ahead and run that through our Big Shot, and that's going to add more texture to this there as well. So I'm going to go off camera and run this to the Big Shot. Alright, so I went ahead and ran that through the Big Shot. And this is the design that we have. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to give it an extra shine all through that basket weave design. So what I have here is a mixture of frosting ink, and it's in alcohol. I think it's 70% alcohol. I put that in, and I just put a couple drops in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a couple sprays, and it gives this extra shine. So while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and Stampin' Up has celebration time. That's running here now till the end of March. And if you get, like, they have different level, $50 level, $100 level. I think on the $50 level you could get this paper free. I have several different designer series paper that comes with this pack, and the theme is butterflies. So I went ahead and punched out one of those butterflies here, and then tenors, because it comes with, you could also buy a punch which is separate, the butterfly punch here, but it cuts off the antennas. So but the one demonstrator with Stampin' Up her name is Josie Davis. She was saying if you take metallic thread, black metallic thread, and you just use a glue dot and glue it to the bottom, and then it looks like real, it makes it look like a real life butterfly with those antenna. So this is the metallic thread that I cut off and use, and I just use a little glue dot and put the antennas there on the butterfly. You're also going to need your card, and this is Pear Pizzazz, and this is measuring 5.5 by 8.5 by 5.5 is score at 4 1/4. Okay. And also what I did is I went ahead and cut out, we also have some dies that has, I'm going to list all the information to the bottom of the products that I use, that die cuts that sell out, cuts out Celebrate, Amazing, and You. And I went ahead and cut out Celebrate You, and I cut it out 3 times each, and it gives it a dimensional look. And I'm going to glue those on top of each other just to add some dimensions to it. I have my silicone mat. This silicone mat is neat because, let me just get into view. The glue kind of rolls off on there so it doesn't stick on here. So to protect your work, your paperwork, you just work on this silicone mat. There we go. So I'm just going to add some little dots all around. And the multi-purpose glue is kind of nice because you have a little bit of time before it actually dries. To move your work around. Okay. And once that when that is done, then you're going to center that how you would like it. And then you'll glue that on. With alcohol, which is neat that I sprayed on with that extra bling, the alcohol dries fairly quick. Or you could put your heating tool to that to add to the drying time, but does that look straight? Okay, and we'll have our butterfly, and I just kind of bend it in the middle, add some, just a little bit of glue. And then you could dry him flat, and you could always fluff his wings up. So here we have, like I said, this is Pear Pizzazz, and it's by Stampin' Up, and that's measuring 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the center at 4 1/4. And now with this, you want to make sure you get the glue, being that this is an emboss piece. You want to make sure you have a generous, oh, I'm getting it all in my work, a generous amount of glue so it could stick down. Just look here and make sure it's even all around. Like I said, the multi-purpose glue is kind of nice to work with because you have time to move your work around. It doesn't dry quickly. And there you have it. So if you please give it a thumbs up if you like this. Please subscribe, share, and thank you for tuning in to my channel. Happy stamping.